You are now plugged in to fucking James River Radio. Don't touch the dial.
So I ran up on Dax and Risk at the Static Selector Juxtapose show right across from the RC Cola wall, and just asked them some questions about the 305. Check it out.
Dr. DAX, Dr. DAKS, destroying all kinds of shit. Acronym.
What is Art Basel to you?
It's kind of like spring break for goddamn graffiti writers.
Right. Describe the first time you guys came down here from Atlanta. Like, what was the first
First
year?
time I ever came down here from Atlanta, I was pen paling with Basel from FS Crew.
Yep.
He's originally from New Orleans, but we were pen paling for years, and we used to goddamn fuck with each other in the mail a little bit. And I came down around early '94, hooked up with him, painted a bunch of freight trains, bombed South Beach, stayed in Little Havana, and this place was like, it was just raw back then, and it was mostly Latino as far as who I knew, you know. But coming here was just like a goddamn, compared to Atlanta, it was a free-for-all, and it was like the southern graffiti mecca of the time, you know.
Yeah.
People like Inkheads and fucking FS and Beef and just really wild, almost on the level of New York or LA, but more slept on, you know.
Before you came, like, what were the crews that you saw up the most, like, when you first came down to
down here
Miami?
back then, man? I remember like the first things I saw, man, was like coming over that bridge with those hanger-looking dome things. There was a Smash and Kepos piece, and I remember being like, wow, how in the fuck did they do that there, man? And that was really impressive. The other thing I remember being impressive is, let me think about it real quick, man. Really impressed with goddamn, that was really impressive, man. I remember just really being like, that was shocking right there, man. This Altoids wall that we're right by, they called the RC Cola Factory. I remember that was kind of started going down. I remember riding on the highway and never seen no wall lit up like that off the highway. Seeing fucking people on the, people used to bomb the GB. He had passed away, I remember, and he'd been to Atlanta. We met him and all that. But I remember coming down here after he passed away and seeing still a lot of semi trucks off the highway between Fort Lauderdale and here with GBs all over them. Mm-hmm. That was kind of epic. The marina, there was nothing like that in Atlanta. So coming here from like a place like that, dude, I fucking was dizzy, and I was really goddamn adrenaline was full rush. The place that was like a free for all that the law wasn't really giving a shit about. It was just a rundown, dilapidated place, and all Miami writers. That was just like, it was like ground zero for fucking bullshit, politics, and graffiti. It was overwhelming. It was just more graffiti than you can even explain. It's a huge abandoned place. Before there really was huge abandoned graffiti places, especially in the South.
With Wynwood in specific, when did you first see it started kind of going over the other side and kind of get commercialized? With
The first time I ever seen it going over the side, I think we came here in 2006. Basel, that year was like, oh, this is really cool, man. And the next year, I already seen it getting a little bit out of control, and every year since, it's full-blown ballistic missile out of fucking control now. I don't even know really, it's overwhelming, it's undescribable.
Do you still enjoy it like you did when you guys first came down here?
Some parts of it, man. I think I'm successful now, so I enjoy everything, you know. But if it went for the success and like all the love I get here, I guess even some of it deserved, I would hate this shit. If I just came in here like a civilian or an outsider or a nobody, I would hate this shit. But you know, I walk around like I'm a goddamn royalty, so it's just lovely. And I grew up with goddamn Gip Goody, Sleepy Brown used to be roommates, Backbone used to be my roommates, the hype man for fucking Cool Breeze. Still kick it with Big Boy, going to Tampa with Big Boy from Miami in a Mercedes goddamn van thing to Tampa to do a show. So Dungeon Family, we DF for life. For real, man. That's my people. Goody Mob, Outkast, Cool Breeze, Slim Calhoun, Backbone, G-Rock, Sham Dunn.
How did you first like link up with those guys? Like in a nutshell, how did
I
you
met
first?
fucking Cujo Goody when I was a little kid, and he took me to the studio and they were doing the Goody Mob album, and me and Gip really hit it off. I was in the Black Eyes video when I was like 17, Sky High,
Yeah,
Sky High.
Yep.
I was in that video a lot, and that really changed the game for me. But people started recognizing my face, and graffiti-wise, nobody even knew I wrote graffiti. They just thought I was, you know, cool-ass drug dealer motherfucker, hung with them.
But did you do design or any like photography?
I was just doing
anything?
illegal graffiti only, and I sold dope, and I rolled with those guys real hard. I gave a lot of artistic input. I filmed videos for Big Boy and Too Short, George Clinton, Gucci Mane. You know, I've just done it all visually. Just been a visual engineer in Atlanta for a long time, and as of like 2009, I came out as like a graffiti writer that was also Dax, you know. But before that, in Atlanta, it was a frown. It wasn't cool. There was no graffiti group is like telling someone you smoke crack or something. It was just like frowned upon, especially by hoes. But you know, it's full circle now, and you know, now I feel proud to be who I am, especially in my territory. I'm working on a movie called Vandal right now here in Miami. It's a feature film. I'm in that. I'm playing myself in it. I'm the only non-actor in it. I just got done filming 12 hours here, so that'll be out by next Art Basel probably, and it's gonna be huge. First graffiti film in this generation, and shit, that's just what I'm working on right now. Is why I'm here. I'm getting paid.
Real graph shit. Just shout out all your crews.
Yeah,
and shit.
man. Graph crews, man. D30, FS, Network, MTK, UCA, WCA. I can go on and on. Top Mob, you know, New Orleans, 30504.
How you be fucking them girls, that little lady? What's the difference between a goddamn ham sandwich and a goddamn blowjob? What's the difference between a ham sandwich and a blowjob? You want to go on a picnic?
Riz, the first time you guys came to
Stands for danger.
the first time you guys came to Miami as a crew, like what was it like, and what year was it?
So it was 2007 we came here, and it was just like a free-for-all, and it was all cruise shit. It was like, you know, MSK, and like we wanted to make our mark, so we found walls. It was actually right fucking here, like the back of this fucking building, and we did burners and shit, and it was cool. I found Ron English stencils, and I took them, and I fucking like used them in my piece, and I thought I found them. But he stashed them, you know. Later on, I was like, hey, yo.
Wait, who's stenciled?
Ron English.
Okay.
And later I saw him at a shelf. I was like, yo, I got your stencils. And he looked at me like I was nuts. I was like, what a dick. He became one of my best friends, you know. But, like,
Yeah.
shit was wild. There was just too much shit going on. Shit was everywhere. And it was all about burning, right?
Yep.
And graffiti burners mattered, you know. And, like, listen, don't get me wrong. I love fucking graffiti. But now it really doesn't matter here anymore. There's too much. There's too much. It's definitely a place to get up and flex, but you know it's hard to stand out because it's like now it's about the walls, you know, where you're at, you know.
How did Retina? Who was like the first one from MSK to come? Like, was it Retina? Because I remember Retina and how El Mac had ill walls like when I first came, '09.
Yeah, I would definitely think it would be Retina.
Yeah.
You know, because when we got here, yeah, right there, like you know, you can't see because I'm pointing, but he had that wall over there.
I can show it. I have everything on film.
But yeah, you know, that wall right there was like the first thing I saw. That I was like, oh my god, and then it was just shit. His shit was everywhere.
Yeah. Who set you guys up like first down there? Because I know Primary Flight was like a group that got like a bunch of shit organized, but who set you up when you would come down there? Was it just Retina and say, hey, like I have a? Would it just be people like Retina say, hey, I have a wall for you, come do it? Like how did everything get set up?
We were like, because you know, Retina came down for his shows,
Yep.
and you know, a couple of us came down for shows, but we just mobbed out. Like we're always crew first, right? So we just show up, and you know, we all you know crashed with each other or took care of ourselves or hustled, do what we had to do. So we showed up with really not an agenda. You know, we didn't come in here. When we first came out here, we were bombing. Like we didn't have permission. Obviously, the walls were permission, but we showed up with no agenda at all. You know, Montana would send us cans, and that was enough.
Mm-hmm. When was the first offer for like a big, like one of those art shows in the tents, like how they set up those big tents? Like when did that stuff all come along, like the big, like orchestrated art kind of gallery type setting?
That you got to ask each person because it happens different with all of us, you know. And we all have different philosophies. You know, I held off on a lot of shit because I had like the ones I really wanted, you know, whatever. And then that's why I painted in Park View or whatever the neighborhood it's called, the Overtown, whatever they call that shit. Park.
Like more
When
close
I
to
did
downtown.
The Central, like Club of Central.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Yep.
When I painted down there, it was like because I was like not feeling the shit that they were giving me here.
Yep.
And I thought the shit was kind of like, you know, played out. So I tried to do like all these crazy buildings. They ran out of money.
And can you just speak a little bit about like where you're from and like where you grew up painting and your influences, like in LA?
My graffiti career is Los Angeles, you know, but I'm from New Orleans. But I started doing graffiti in Los Angeles, heavily influenced from New York, and you know, that's it. I was born and raised in New Orleans, and my career is Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. And WCA is a crew you still rep, right? And
West Coast Artists.
And that's Mr. Cartoon as well?
Mr. Cartoon, Abel, Retina, Mr. Coffee.
How did you link up like with Cartoon early on?
So Cartoon, when I went to school at Marymount, I was living in Palos Verdes, and he was Flame One. So I met him. I was like, this dude's bad, but his name sucks, right? So we started hanging out. He became my dude. Took him to L.A. He blew everyone away.
So he's not from L.A.?
He's from San Pedro, which is, you know, we're all L.A., right?
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's like a suburb
or? Yeah, it's outside of Los Angeles. But he came out there and blew everyone away, and he became my roommate. I got a loft, and it was me and Cartoon lived in this loft, and we were just killing shit, you know, just going nuts.
Was he tattooing from the beginning too?
Yeah, he was tattooing.
Airbrushing cars and all that too?
Airbrushing, mostly airbrushing, you know, I don't know if he's getting mad. He had a Suzuki Samurai with fucking, you know, like these gold rims, and kept telling me, like, you got to get into the lowriders. So I was like, fuck that. And then he showed me that whole culture, and I got my cars because of him. And he was a dude that was a young dude that's like, fake it till you make it. I didn't really understand that shit. And he was like, yo, Risk, what's up? We're going to be like blah, blah, blah. And we did, but he had that vision,
I feel like MSK has like a huge reach too, even with like Evidence and DJ AM and those guys. Did you know those guys too?
Of course,
like growing up?
Of course, man. I can tell you, crack stories from my couch. I can tell you like triumph stories from, accolades. We've been through it all. I remember my underground clubs. There was like like a lot of shit went down. Like the photos, guns in the air, all that shit, and then so the shit. Everyone like actually came up, but it's like we all came up with that synergy, I guess you'd say, and like Venice, hung on Venice Beach a lot, and that was like a very important place for graffiti, like all the hip hop dudes, like Zephyr, Brim from TAT, like Sharp, all these dudes came down to Venice Beach to do these pieces, and we started painting there, so we started breakdancing on the boardwalk, But we took a gangster element to it, So it's like it was definitely a hip hop influence, but it turned punk rock quick, and then it was like Suicidal Tendencies ran Venice Beach, so we were all suies, we're all these suicidal dudes, these kids that were into hardcore and punk rock. So I think that was the change of graffiti being hip hop to different things. As much as we embraced hip hop and loved it, I think we were definitely like hardcore, and then that bred a new genre. The thing is, like my whole style was influenced by New York because there was no one else writing it in LA when I started doing it, and I'm bummed out about that. I wish I was like Saber or Vogue or those dudes that created that like LA style. Like I'm like, why didn't I fucking see that? But all I saw was New York, and that's my influence. And I love those motherfuckers. Don't get me wrong. I keep it real. Like that's my influence. But yeah, definitely those dudes came up with a different era, like, and they created all that hardline edges because of the hardcore shit, and the kind of letters and the block letters and all that shit.
What projects are you working on? What's coming next?
Shit. There's so much like people don't get it. Like a lot of graffiti dudes are like, yo, what's up? I do these walls with washes. They're like, where's the letter? There's no letters. It's like that's just what it is. But that's just one genre. Like I do mixed media shit. I do metal shit. I do sketches. It's like we're artists, right? So we do different shit. Graffiti is like near and dear to my heart, but that's a different genre. I haven't chose to show that in galleries. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I love that shit. I probably love that shit more than anything. But right now, what I'm showing is different mixed media shit, But where's it going? I have no fucking idea. It changes every day. I'm here for the movie The Vandal right now.
Yeah, Dax was telling me about it.
Yeah, and that's cool because it's fictional. It's not a documentary, so we don't have to like do the same old shit. Like, what's it about? Everyone fucking knows that.
Yeah.
We can just like get loose and do a real movie. So listen, I don't know where life's going. Like, I think if you have a plan, the ride's over. My ride's been a hell of a ride. It's been really fucking great. I don't want it to be over. So I really don't want to have an agenda. Just whatever happens tomorrow, as long as it's cool, I'm on that ride,
Cool. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, man.
Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fucking great. You guys want to take a walk and drink some beers?
Yes.
Where at? Uh-oh. You feel like a fag when you're like sucking someone's dick and they're right there. It was one of those things. We were like, dude, those guys are sick, and they're right there. And they're like some greedy, the one guy was like a greedy white guy. We were just pussy ass kids, We were in Boston though. I can say we're the first people out of Atlanta to go roll through real cities. Atlanta was just a town. And we went to like Boston, you get to Boston, Chicago, New York, and you're just like, oh, this is a real city. LA.
Right.
New Orleans is a real town. Yeah. Country shit. And here's what's scarier about country ass towns. When you run into a scary person in Boston, LA, or whatever, there's still reasoning though. When you run into an ignorant motherfucker in the South though, it's like running into an alligator. And you can be like, yo, I got my money. And they're like, no, I don't want your money. I want to hurt you. I want to bite you and hurt you and make you feel like a fuck boy.
Too much aggression.
In Boston, they'd be like, what's up, pussy? And then you're like, here's my wallet. And they're like, all right, that's all I wanted. And you'd be like, here's my wallet. In the South, they're like, no, I'm going to take your wallet later, but we finna goddamn, you going to suck my dick. You finna suck my dick. South's such a weird bitch, but I'm telling you, man. I love growing up down here, though.
But it must have been so fun before it got too busy in Wynwood. Like, downtown must have been a zoo. You know what I mean?
In Atlanta?
No, I'm saying downtown here before it got too, like, it must have
No,
been a
downtown
zoo.
here used to be fucking like it was like development that stopped. There was a lot of that. All the drug dealers in the 80s started building shit and it all got shut down. And so it was like on the rise in South Beach in the early 80s. I should have talked about that. That shit was all abandoned hotels and senior citizens only.
Yeah.
And it was like shady,
Well, that's what they say in
sketchy.
Cocaine
There was
Cowboys.
South Beach gang.
That's what
there
they
was a
say in
big
Co-
gang called SBG, South Beach Gang.
Yeah.
Huge gang from down there. People don't even know that South Beach was a scary bitch. That's good you're doing a story on it, and you're from Boston. I don't even know why you give a shit about the city at all.
Because
If I was
Boston's
from
weak.
Boston, I'd be like, fuck your little.
Yeah, but shit stays open until 5 a.m. out here.
Another stereotype.
wouldn't
Guys
go
from
down here
Boston
to
are always
Miami,
ripped.
Yo, you don't even work out.
Fonz is ripped.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Fonzie's my
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
RBD 30 Fonzie.
I don't know what it is.
I'm not ripped, dude.
I mean,
But
you don't
Boston
look
guys
not-
are always kind of like jacked up. Like,
That's just the program.
hard team. They're
it's
hard
part
on
of the-
team sports.
Am I wrong? Is that part of the culture?
That's the program.
They're hard on team sports when you're younger.
That's the program.
They're just hard on team
Dude,
sports.
my dad thought I was gay because I didn't like sports. For real, he's like, I was like, dude, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. He was like, I'm sorry for asking. I was like, why would you fucking ask me that? He goes, well, you don't like sports and you don't like girls. I was like, I do like girls. I've never seen you one.
Can we get into some strip club talk? Yo, what do you
Goddamn
think?
Jazzy Cheek, ass shaker, money maker.
What do you think
Assorted
about,
alligator, assorted flavor alligator, trill Georgia player.
What do you think about King of Diamonds though?
King
You
of
like
Diamonds?
You like King of Diamonds?
Strip club here?
Yeah, you been there?
It's alright. I like Coco's and Rolex with the $5 dances. You can spend 30 and be balling. I'm cheap.
I've heard about
I make it sprinkle.
I've heard about Coco's. Like, what is Coco's all about? I've never been to Coco's, but I
all
heard great
black,
things.
nasty. You gotta like them fat black asses, and you can like finger a hoe in that bitch for free.
What strip club really took off first in Atlanta?
Man, it used to be like goddamn Club Nicky's, Magic City. Always been around. Magic and his sons, the Little Magics. That shit's always been around. That's like they're like heiresses now, or heirs or whatever you call it. Like seriously, like that club's been around. The motherfuckers tried to burn each other's shit down. They were friends with politicians. Like the shadiest, weirdest, all black fucking committee of Atlanta. Like black folks run my town, dude.
Can you speak about the first time you went to Magic City? Like, what was the first time? Like,
Man, first time I went to Magic City, man, I went there with goddamn Goody Mob, Cujo Goody, Gip Goody, Timo Goody, CeeLo, Big Boy, and Andre 3000. We all went in there after the goddamn Black Eyes video, and I was underage, 1998. I think I was just about turned 18. And we went in that motherfucker, dude, and like, that was it.
And were they playing the music? Like, were they
Oh,
playing?
yeah, all South. Kila Ali, Raheem the Dream. It was like all South in there, man, for real.
And now when you go in there, like, can you still wild out and have a good time in there? Or do you feel it's like a different vibe?
It's a different vibe. BMF ruined it. No offense to BMF, much love, but BMF fucking like came through and just like way overdid it.
Like
And-
Rick Ross and them?
No, not Rick Ross. I'm talking like Big Meech and fucking Tank and goddamn J-Bo and all that. The real BMF, goddamn Blue, Baby Blue, all them, the real drug dealers, real street motherfuckers came around and they started throwing way too much money. Bitches started buying houses and boats and cars and shit. And we could, not that I couldn't even compete. I couldn't compete, but even if I could, I wouldn't. I can talk so much, man.
So what? Coco's is your
Talk
favorite
$1,000 with the shit and walk a mile and force like a flat.
favorite strip club in South Florida?
Favorite strip club in South Florida? And all of South Florida, man. I just had to give it up to goddamn Rolex then. Coco, it's tied between Coco's and Rolex.
Rolex is downtown.
I'm just nasty. I'm like the white guy who likes black bitches, you know?
Where's Rolex?
Man, I don't even know where we're standing, to be honest with you. I've been coming here my whole life and I don't know where the fuck I am, dude. Hey, no lie.
You know where we're at.
Yeah, we're fucking Miami, but
right
we
next to
we
90
we woo.
We're right next to
We woo.
95.
We're right next to 95, RC Cola plant, Altoid Wall.
Altoid?
It used to be called the Altoid Wall.
Why? That was who they made Altoid to?
I don't know. I always knew this place would be in the Altoid Wall.
Altoid.
Back in the 90s, yeah. I think like the first time it was painted, Altoid got it for something, and it's just always been the Altoid Wall. I've always known this is the Altoid, but it's the RC Cola plant. Risky used to work there when it first opened back in 1910. And he was the first person to ever do graffiti in Miami ever. He used to paint dicks. No pun intended.
Thank you guys.
Dax on all of them.
What was that?
I wrote Dax on all those dicks.
I have a text message with Risky that he broke up with me. Because I didn't show up to his art show. One to live, my man. Don't eat the yellow snow. Don't fucking double dutch without a bra. And what's the last one? What were we just talking about? With the butt?
You ain't got no haters.
Nah, if you ain't got no haters, Jesus ain't loving you right.
ain't popping. Yes.
You want
Oh,
two?
water.
You want two? You want one for
I
good
might
luck?
need one, man.
You want one for good luck?
I might. I owe y'all.
It's all good. I don't know.
Jason.
Probably went to go meet up
You
with
look a unicorn.
That's the best.
Hey, and big up to Boston in the house, man.
Word.
Boston boys goddamn so strong they can punch a hole through your head and a hole through your heart. Punch your goddamn face in the back of your motherfucking head, Celtics. Larry Bird. Larry Bird.
Early.
Larry Bird, man.
Early.
Yes, sir.
Early. Were you in the Trinidad James video?
Yeah, that was my in the first one.
How did you end up in that?
He called me and was like, yo, I need you to goddamn walk me in the goddamn club scene. And I was like, all right, I showed up.
Did you meet him before he took off?
Way before, yeah.
He had a clothing store?
That's the thing about me. Okay, Bubba Sparks calls me the Forrest Gump of hip hop because I've always been around. I knew Outkast before Outkast was Outkast. I knew Goody Mob, Dungeon Family. I knew everybody. JT Money from down here, and not because I don't even like rap. I just like punk rock music and reggae, like a skinhead and shit. And then those guys love me though because I sold dope. They love me. We always used to see each other skipping school, but when it came time, those motherfuckers used to like bring me on tours as their henchmen and hype man and whatever. And throughout time, I met McConan before he was big, OG Mako, bitch, you guessed it.
Yeah.
You know, all those guys, Ray Schmurda, everybody who ever came out of Atlanta, I always end up somehow being goddamn magnetically connected with them before they blow up though. And so it don't even matter though. I feel like a lot of guys come to me because I'm just an elder and they know I knew Dungeon Family. So a lot of those young guys that come to me, ask for advice, I give them the good stuff and then they remember it and they put me in their videos.
Yeah,
So I'm 40 years old. I've been in videos since 1998. It's 18 years and still in videos. Look at Future Forever Ever video. I'm in that.
you're like the Triggs of Atlanta.
No, I'm like the.
Kind of. You know how Triggs would always pop up in a video, or like that other dude from LA?
I was in way more videos than music videos than Triggs.
Yeah.
Triggs might be a little more famous though, and like more of an icon than me. But he went in more rap videos. R.I.P. though, man. God bless that boy's soul and his family. Love him. He's way more famous, way more significant than Dax. But I was in way more rap videos. He was in Diane Antwoord videos though.
Triggs?
He was in cooler videos. Yeah, he was in videos, but like way more Hollywood, big production, dope ass shit like Diane Antwoord. That was his last video. Actually, he had angel wings on in that video right before he died.